Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 320 of our Be a Better You annual challenge and day 16 of No Nonsense November. I'm going to hang on to my coffee, I think. My granddaughters are sick and everybody in the house is probably going to get sick, but I am choosing not to participate. So we'll see how well I am at doing that over the next couple of days. Today we're talking about our perspective, our point of view, and the power of that to shape our experience, to shape our life. And some people have no idea that we actually have any control whatsoever about what we think. They just think, they go through their life, and whatever happens to them, they respond or react to. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes really, really ugly. But what if, and this is it's not a big what if, it's a why aren't we doing this already? What if you really can shape and create the future that you want by paying attention to what you pay attention to? I think that's what this particular lesson learned is all about. It's about the times in my life and in your life as well, where we were paying attention to and being self-aware and realizing that the inputs in our life create the results and the outputs, because they influence our thoughts influence our feelings influence our emotions determine whether we will take action or not. And that all determines the results that we get, what actually happens to us. So today I'm going to be short and sweet. I turned on questions and answers on this video so that you can ask questions. It's Sunday where I am, and I am learning that it's very important to take a pause and reflect and be more self-aware in terms of what am I thinking about. I'm in a 21-day manifesting challenge in a group on the school platform, and it's causing me some internal turmoil in terms of what my thoughts actually are and the results I'm actually getting versus what I think they are or think they should be. And there's a bridge between those two, right? Remember, whenever we think of something and it's something that we feel negative about or don't like, that means that's something we need to pay attention to and change. It's how I feel about pain. This whole last week, on and off, I've had a headache. And I'm like, well, why do I have a headache? And try to blame the solar flares and the beautiful aurora borealis that we saw this last week. But I think it's closer to home than that. I think it's internally. I'm realizing that I've got all these conflicting beliefs, like we all do, by the way. It's not just me. We all think that everything we experience is unique to us, and that our experiencing it is the most craziest, extreme possible way of having things happen to us. But the truth is, we all feel that way. We all feel like everything that happens to us, because we're the ones that are experiencing it, right? We're the ones that are feeling the emotions. And that impacts our perspective, our point of view. Now, we get to choose what we're going to pay attention to. We get to choose what we look at. We get to choose actually what we think. Our subconscious is going to feed us up all kinds of things to keep us in the same little circle and to keep us safe. But we can decide to question that and say, okay, yes, I've always done it this way, but is that the way I want to do it going forward? I've always thought this, but is that even my thought? Do I even believe that today? And maybe I absolutely positively did when I was 20 and 30, but so many things have happened since then to disprove that. Why haven't I let that belief go? A lot of times it's not even my belief. I realize, oh my gosh, that is something I learned from my mom. That is something I adapted and copied from my dad. That's something I got from my third boss in corporate America. And it's not even true, right? Sometimes we get feedback from other people and we take it on as if it is the gospel truth, only to find out that is, and realize at some point down the road, usually, let's see, that would have been 25 years ago for me almost, what they said was just their opinion. It was just their perspective and point of view. It doesn't have to be ours. So I challenge you today to be very careful about the opinions and the thoughts and beliefs that aren't yours. Pay attention. Pick one. Find one today. I guarantee you everybody's got one belief that they have right now that if they questioned it would realize, number one, it's really not true for them anymore today. It's not true for me anymore today. And number two, they got it from somebody else, usually some loving, kind, well-meaning parent or parental figure or teacher or expert or guru and took it on as their truth, our truth. I mean, I have like dozens of these things, and every once in a while they'll pop up. Usually when I'm trying to stretch my comfort zone and do something that's a little uncomfortable for me, all of a sudden all these crazy old beliefs pop in. And there's sometimes still, I forget to question them, and I forget to say, well, that's not even true. That's not true for me. It's certainly not true for me now. Might have been, back in a different situation and a different set of circumstances, but it isn't true for me now. So what are we going to do today? We're going to pay attention to our thoughts and beliefs. We're really working on mindset this week for a 7-day gap. Mindset and mastering it, and mastering the methods that we use to master our mindset, so that we've got these tools in our toolbox all along. But today we're just going to sit quietly in a quiet place for a couple of minutes and see what pops into our head. Try to not think of anything, and just as things pop in, have a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil and just write down what pops into your head. I have a whole bunch of other people's stuff that automatically pop into my head in the morning. It's why I listen to an affirmation and some other positive things first thing in the morning while I'm getting ready, because I don't want my stream of consciousness to be a whole bunch of other people's problems that, number one, I don't have control over. Number two, they're not mine to solve. And all they do is add to my negative emotions, stress, doubt, worry, and fear, which who needs to be adding to that? There's plenty of things to be scared of. There's plenty of things to worry about. We don't need to take on other people's stuff. All right. Love to know how you believe your perspective or your point of view impacts you and you becoming the person you want to believe. All right. If I can help you in any way, I turn Q&A on for this video. Just ask, otherwise message me directly, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.